And so we're ready to go, live from Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. At stake, the undisputed middleweight championship of the world.
There's the jab from Hagler, and that's a punch that he will need tonight if he's to win against Duran.
Duran working the body of Hagler, and he gets a warning from the referee to watch it. We're halfway through the opening round. A bit of a right hand by Duran on the chin of Hagler was a glancing blow. Hagler has never been down as an amateur or professional. The last time Duran was down was 9 years ago. He was down twice in his career as a pro, both left hooks by Esteban de Jesus, oddly in the first rounds of those bouts, with Duran coming back and winning.
For those people who claim that Hagler would be awed by this event, this is the time when it would affect him. He would be tight in the first round and perhaps be hurt, as Duran hurt Leonard early in their fight. Gave a thumb to Davey Moore early in their fight, whether intentional or not. It blinded Moore's vision and helped him win that fight, and the Hagler camp very concerned about that tonight.
A slow boil here. We haven't had any eruptions as yet. Duran with a short left hand. Hagler with a left hand of his own to the side of Duran's face. Hagler there showing the stiff jab and then the left cross to the head of Duran.
And so it'll be incumbent upon Hagler, as he blocks that right, to use the uppercut effectively on the inside, as he's doing right there.
Hagler working with the free left hand there as Duran was holding on. Duran with a short right.
So far in this fight, it's Hagler who's working harder on the inside. Many people thought it would be Duran who would be ripping shots to the body and the head.
Just past the halfway mark of round 2. Hagler with a left hand to the head of Duran. That straightened him up. That right hand of Duran was blocked by Hagler. And we're starting to get the first indications of strength here, as it looks like Hagler's having no problem moving Duran. Hagler comes from downstairs with an uppercut. Less than a minute to go. Hagler with a left hand on the head of Duran, and Duran gives him a sneer. The familiar sneer of Duran is back. And now we're starting to percolate as the champion, Hagler, is starting to unwind. Duran with a right hand on the head of Hagler. Hagler seems intent on getting off first. That right hand by Duran was short on the chest of Hagler. A left to the stomach by Duran as Hagler missed and was out of position. So the legend still has the cute moves, knows when to take advantage.
And as we said at the top, if there's a way that Duran would win this fight, I think it would be that way. He just slipped a straight left by Hagler. It's his defensive skills that I think will make this fight for him. Now on the inside, Hagler doing most of the punching.
Duran insists that he's in tip-top shape. He trained for most of the summer. Hagler did the same. Hagler just brought a right uppercut onto the face of Duran. Less than a minute to go in round 3. Duran with a left to the head. Hagler with a right to the head of Duran. Duran with a short right hand on the face of Hagler. Another right hand by Duran to the head of Hagler. Hagler with a big left hand that rocked Duran. Duran with a right uppercut. Duran moments ago ducked underneath an express train of a left hand by Hagler. Hagler caught nothing but air. Duran has closed the distance to Hagler. They're closer than ever before.
And they are both smiling at each other at alternate times during these rounds. There's the jab and the left hand by Hagler. That's what he wants to get in. So far, Duran, while Hagler hasn't landed much, Duran's going for all those feints.
Right hand by Duran. Hagler with a left to the body. That backed up Duran for an instant. A big swat of a left hand by Hagler, the kind of jab that decked Caveman Lee in the first round.
And indeed, now Hagler is starting to get his jab on track, and I guess that's the most important weapon for him in this fight. If he can land it, he'll be very effective.
We're halfway through the fourth. Duran with the right hand, and Hagler didn't even move. A right hand by Duran, right on the butt. That caught Hagler on the chin. Less than a minute to go in round 4.
Duran has shown us one thing: the right hand can get home to Hagler. Hasn't done that much in this fight, but he has landed it several times. That's good news for him and his fans.
A right to the body by Duran, but he paid the price. Hagler countered with a left hook to the head.
Hagler starting to throw some combinations. That's been absent so far from both fighters in the first 3.5 rounds.
Less than 30 seconds to go in the round. Hagler with a bit of a left hand. Duran with a right hand in response.
And there he does it. As soon as I said he hadn't done it, he switches to the righty stance.
Left hook to the head from the righty stance by Marvin Hagler.
Well, in the brief time he's changed righty, he's fought well against Duran.
In the workouts every day, Hagler fought several rounds right-handed to be sharp, to be able to show Duran that he can go both ways. And Hagler with a right hook from the lefty stance rattled Roberto Duran.
And he landed a good uppercut just before that. So he's starting to get the hand speed unlimbered, and Hagler looks a little looser here in round 5.
We point that out because you should not be misled by the cheers of the crowd.
Good
Hagler with a right hand, Duran with a right hand. Hagler comes back with a straight left to the head. Duran with a whack of a right hand on the side of Hagler's head. Less than a minute to go in the round. Duran gets away with a low blow out of the view of the referee.
Neither fighter has done much body work in the last several rounds. That's something they're both noted for. And neither fighter working that effectively on the inside.
They trade body shots. Right hand by Duran, and that was right on the chin of Hagler, but he's not hurt. And there's the bell marking the end of the 5th round.
This is a tactical fight, and the experts were divided on who they thought would win if it became this kind of fight. Many people felt Duran could not fight him from the outside, but Roberto's not doing that badly from the outside against Hagler.
A left hand by Hagler. Duran shakes his head, no, I'm not hurt. The couple of jabs there by Hagler had put Duran off balance and wide open for the shot. Duran with a right hand after he was hit by a right by Hagler. So we're getting some toe-to-toe stuff here.
I think when Hagler switches to righty, he is much more effective against Duran, and there he does it now. He can land often in the righty stance. There's the good jab by Hagler. A good right by Hagler. This is the way he needs to be in this fight.
A hard jab by Hagler from the orthodox stance. Hagler with a left hook to the head. Hagler switches to lefty, goes to righty. And they're in the center of the ring now. Duran not been able to make full connections as much as Hagler.
And I think we're seeing the key to this fight. If Marvin Hagler could sustain his attack as a righty, I think he'd be very effective. Good uppercut by Hagler.
We're halfway through the 6th round. Duran with a right and left. Hagler here applying some pressure. He's gone into another gear.
And it's Hagler on the inside, not Duran, who's dominating the action as many people thought.
Hagler now digging in now, throwing shots, and he is catching Duran. Duran still coming forward. Big right hand by Hagler from the righty stance. That was his best punch. Less than a minute to go now, and Duran is starting to feel some of that power from Hagler.
And again, Marvin goes back to lefty. I don't know why he's so effective as a right-hander against Duran.
There's no question in this round, Hagler made up his mind to start to drill Duran, and he has approached Duran from a different philosophy, and that is he has turned into slugger here. He was boxing Duran earlier in the fight. Duran is flat-footed, breathing hard, less than 30 seconds to go in the 6th, and Hagler is digging in and throwing shots from his heels.
And the strength of Hagler taking over here now. The first real middleweight that Duran has faced, and he's finding out how powerful Hagler is.
Hagler with the left hand, another left hand. In between, Duran missed with an uppercut. Hagler comes out righty.
Sal, I wonder if he deliberately fought the first few rounds lefty to lull Duran into a false sense of security, knowing that he could win with the right-handed stance.
Although he's switched now again back to the southpaw stance. Hagler giving Roberto a different look. He switches again.
Duran's left jab landing even better at the righty than his right jab was landing when he was southpaw.
Right hand lead by Hagler from the orthodox stance. Hagler with a left hook to the head. Both fighters smiling at each other. Lots of gamesmanship here as the crowd is chanting Duran's name. We're halfway through the seventh.
One of the misnomers about this fight was that Duran would not fight inside, that he would simply hold. He has been the one who's been dominant when they are inside. Good lead right by Hagler.
And you can hear that across the ring. Hagler pushing Duran to a fast pace here. He wants Duran to work hard. Hagler out-punching Duran here in the seventh as he did in the sixth, and Duran seems undismayed. He mocks Hagler, smiles at him. Hagler's expression is unchanged since he entered the ring. It's a menacing look.
Against Vito Antuofermo in their first fight, Hagler dominated all the early rounds, as he may be doing here against Duran. Ran out of gas, got frustrated when Antuofermo wouldn't go down. Will that happen in this fight if Duran can take it the full 15?
Less than 30 seconds to go in the seventh.
And there, look on the inside. It's Hagler really throwing the shots, not Duran.
It is Hagler who's got Duran against the ropes. Duran wanted this, but he wanted the other way. He wanted to press the attack against Hagler. Has not been able to do that. They're at close range, and Hagler rumbling pretty well. A right hand by Duran at the bell. We are approaching the halfway mark of the fight. Al, I want your impressions about how one man has been able to prevail his will over the other, or has that occurred?
Well, I think Hagler has done so more out of technical abilities than anything else. He is simply a better boxer than Duran has faced in recent times. Duran himself has avoided being hit really flush by Hagler, and now Hagler turns to righty, and watch how effective he is when he turns to this stance.
He made a pivot move and brought that left hook to the head. He just did it twice. Hagler's corner knows that Marvin is especially effective in the orthodox stance, and they welcome him switching to the righty style.
And Marvin wants to fight on the inside with Duran. Unlike what people thought, he's ripping shots to the body and the head.
Less than a minute to go in round 8. After a spirited 6th and 7th rounds, it's quiet here in the 8th. In round 8, there's always the problem of a butt.
And of course, Hagler himself has occasionally been guilty, as he was in his second fight with Antuofermo, of using his head as a weapon.
The first half of this round was quiet. It's been stepped up because of Hagler's ability to punch in bunches. Hard jab there by Hagler. Yet another one. A countering right hand by Duran. Duran comes out flat-footed for round number 9. A wide stance. It looks like Duran here wants to really rumble. He wants to get Hagler at close quarters.
And Hagler again as a righty. You heard Goody Petronelli say, "I like you as a righty. Change up and use that often."
Hagler looks like he's ready to accommodate Mr. Duran if he wants to go toe-to-toe here at close quarters. Another right hand blocked by Hagler. Hagler with a 3-punch combination on the head of Duran.
Hagler slipping the jabs and pounding the body of Roberto Duran.
Then he came upstairs with some uppercuts. Hagler said he learned a great lesson from that controversial draw. He knew he ran out of gas down the final 5 rounds. He said he learned how to train for 15 rounds. He vowed it would never happen again.
And so far, no indication that Hagler is slowing the tempo. Good counter hook by Duran. It has no impact on Hagler.
Hagler threw a lead left hand, and Duran came with that countering hook. Less than a minute to go in the round.
Hagler continues also to work the body very effectively.
Hammering right hand by Duran on the head of Hagler.
This fight has ebbed and flowed on a number of different occasions. Right now, again, it's a chess match as they look for an opening. Good jab, double jab by Hagler, and he's gotten that punch on track since the second round.
Early in the round, the Hagler with an eruption, a 3-punch combination, then later some body work. That was the major noise in an otherwise. There's the bell for round 10.
And again, Hagler starts in the right-handed stance. He has switched up often in this fight. I think it has confused Duran, and as a righty, I still maintain Hagler has done his best work. Look at on the inside. This is where Duran was supposed to win, but instead it's Hagler. And there was an elbow from Hagler to show you that he is not above questionable tactics.
The 4th admonishment to Duran by the referee for a low blow.
And for all the hassles over the referee, Stanley Christodoulou has played a minor role in this fight.
They're on the inside here in round 10. Imagine walking down that lonely, dark street, fighting on the inside against either of these men.
Both men are masters on the inside, and at this point anyway, it looks like the idea that Hagler is a true middleweight and Duran has come up too many weight divisions would appear to be the case on the inside. Hagler appears strong there.
They just banged heads. Hagler pressing the attack here.
Right now, Sal, he is simply bullying Duran, and the body work very effective. Alexis Arguello and Leonard apparently were right. Duran could not fight on the inside.
We're halfway through the 10th. Duran has slowed down somewhat. Chopping right hand by Duran, another one, and Hagler drills him with a right as Duran moved Hagler away from the ropes. Another low blow by Roberto Duran. As I count him, that's number 5.
Still no points being taken away, however, by Christodoulou.
We're in the final 60 seconds of the 10th round.
It has actually been a relatively clean fight, considering what many boxing observers were expecting. I think Duran is slowing down discernibly here in round 10.
And a right hand by Duran. Just when he was backing up, Hagler walked right into it. Less than 30 seconds to go in the 10th. Right hand high in the head of Hagler. Duran with another right hand. For all of the attack by Hagler, Duran is very much in this fight.
Well, he's still upright anyway, and that gives him a chance.
A hard left hand by Hagler. Duran came back with his own right. And it appears right now that Duran cannot hurt Hagler. Hagler with a big left hand at the bell, and Duran gives him a mean look.
Isn't it better for Hagler to put the pressure on Duran? Get him tired, working these last few rounds. But Hagler obviously has it in his mind to box in this 11th round.
Halfway through the 11th, Roberto Duran almost stationary in the center of the ring, following Hagler around. Hagler's best rounds were the 6th and 7th.
Hagler's preoccupation with the judging would dictate that he might not fight this way in the later rounds, but he is doing it, risking what he feels might be bias on the part of the judges against him.
Referee once again lets them battle their way out of the clinch with less than 30 seconds to go in the 11th.
And here's where a rally by either fighter might steal this round.
Hey, step back.
Certainly the quietest round of the fight.
After going toe-to-toe in the middle rounds.
Hagler comes out right-handed and he comes out banging. They told him too much movement in the last round, and he takes care of it by going right to Durán.
As champion, Hagler hasn't been this far before. He has rejected all 7 of his challengers in less than 11 rounds.
And the last time Durán went this far was against Benitez about 2 years ago, and he did not look good in the final rounds against Wilfred. He was tired and catching a lot of counterpunches.
Right hand by Durán on Hagler's head. But you know, Al, in my mind's eye, as I go back over the previous 11 rounds, Hagler has been difficult for Durán to hit. He's been blocking a lot of punches.
He has shown good defense in this fight. Better, I think, than Durán expected. Durán breathing very heavily, and I think Marvin now trying to go to the body to exploit that. Hagler took a breather in the last round, but not in round 12.
Hagler is back on the inside, takes a right hand from Durán, does some work with the uppercuts, and this is a whole different kind of style as contrasted against the previous round, the 11th. Left hook by Durán to the head of Hagler.
Now Durán is punching more on the inside, working the body a little bit. It may be too late, but he has certainly picked up the pace on the inside, what we expected early from him.
Durán with a right uppercut. There's swelling underneath the eye, the left eye of Hagler. They go toe-to-toe here in the 12th. Durán mocking Hagler. Dropped his hands to his side. Hagler's protecting his left eye.
And Marvin looks a little bit tired. This is starting to have some of the earmarks of the first Anna Fermo fight. Marvin tiring a little bit and perhaps letting Durán back in this fight. And of course that swelling under the left eye a factor now.
Durán with the lead right, he followed up with another right hand. And Hagler's got a problem with swelling underneath his left eye. This is reminiscent at this point of the Davey Moore fight, when Moore went inside on Durán and Durán connected with right hands. This is Durán's best round. Hagler with the left hand, an uppercut, points to his chin.
I'm shocked to see him continue with the left hand stance.
We're into the 13th, and Durán's name is being chanted from here to Panama City. Hagler still has vision. It's a swelling underneath his left eye. Durán looking to unload the right hand. Hagler punishes him with a couple of hard jabs. 7 years the champion, as a welterweight champion, as the junior middleweight champion. And here in his first middleweight fight, he has really rumbled with the best there's been since Carlos Monzon. Right hand by Durán.
Good uppercuts by Hagler.
In the first 20 seconds of this round, Hagler has been a tremendous force here. Hagler is cut.
But here in round 14, despite the sneering, it's been Hagler on the inside dominating the action, as you see him doing right there.
Big left hand by Hagler on the chin of Durán, but Durán is okay, so okay, he sneered again at Hagler. Durán now sensing that we only have a few ticks left on the clock, trying to get close enough, trying to get some punching room, but it's all Hagler down the stretch. Hagler with a big right hook and a left cross. Hagler takes a right hand from Durán.
To the head of Roberto Duran.
20-odd seconds to go in the fight. Left hand by Hagler, and Roberto Duran drilled Hagler with his own right. 15 seconds to go. Two warriors, two champions, going the full 15 rounds. Hands of Stone turned out to be a formidable opponent, and he rocks Hagler with the right hand, Hagler with the left, as we head for the bell.
For the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.